So we've wanted a pygmy hedgehog for a while, and now is the time for us to get one. The thing you must do is research, because then, although they're easy pets to look after once you've got them, there's a lot that goes into it before you get them. You've got to think about where they're going to be housed, what sort of vivarium you're going to get, how they're going to be heated, and what they're going to need on a day-to-day basis. So I'm just going to run through the things that we've got for when he arrives. We've got all the bits and pieces we think we're going to need for when he arrives. Obviously there's going to be things that we haven't thought of. I've read lots of different literature. I've been onto the Pygmy Hedgehog website and I've looked through all their files, so I think I'm mostly on top of it. But obviously there's things that are going to crop up that aren't here, but we'll update you as we go along on things we need and things we purchase that are extra. But to start with, we bought scales. Now obviously when your hedgehog comes, it's important to know kind of what their weight is to make sure they're healthy. If you're going to get a baby hedgehog, then you want to be sure that it's putting on the right amount of weight every week, whether they're healthy and thriving. So the good thing to do is get a great pair of scales. Now I've done my research on these ones, and these are supposed to be the most accurate that you can get. I got the bowl with it because obviously for putting them in, but I'm thinking that I might have to line that with a towel or a flannel or something soft that he's not going to mind going in, otherwise he might sort of slide down the side of the bowl. But I'm quite happy with that one, and I'll let you know how I get on with it. Also you're going to need probably a journal so that you can keep a note of the weight every week or every month or however often you decide to do it, just so you can be on top of that. And if you're obviously going to breed them in the future, then for all the babies, then you can keep a note of their weights as and when. So the next thing we got was nail clippers. Now hedgehogs need their nails clipped fairly regularly. Obviously they will be running, so they might wear a little bit down, but generally they grow quite quickly. So nail clippers. I've got plastic gloves, disposable gloves. As they wee and poo quite a lot and will need to be cleaned out. Maybe not their entire cage every day, but certainly their wheels and any areas that have got excessive wee or poo and then will need to be cleaned. And obviously you want to protect yourselves. So Aveeno Baby, this is very, very gentle. When your hedgehog's going around the wheel, they're most likely be pooping around the wheel, and they tend to get little poopy boots on their feet, so they need to be cleaned off maybe daily, maybe a couple of times a week, depending on how dirty your hedgehog gets. And certainly they're going to need a bath, a full bath, quite regularly. They don't need a lot of water. They need to go in a very small, shallow tray with just a tiny bit of water, and be just very gentle with a cotton bud when you clean up around their quills. Lucillin, this is an antiseptic skincare if they get any little wounds or little sores on their feet from running around the wheel, which they can do. Sometimes they can run around the wheel quite excessively. So this one is a good one, like a good first aid kit to have. So this is Hypocare. This is what I find to be the best thing when they're quilling. When they quill, their new quills come through. Their old ones come out, the new ones come through, but they come through bigger than the hole that was already there from their previous one, so it can actually be quite painful for them. So this is like a soothing spray that you can put on them. Supposed to help them quite a lot with that. Some hedgehogs just seem to sail through it, and some seem to suffer with it when they can be a bit grumpy for a while. So this is another good first aid one. I've also got a fragrance-free hand wash. Pygmy hedgehogs really don't like anything with any strong fragrance, so if you can wash your hands before you come out and handle them, so if you've got any perfume from the day or any dirt on your hands or anything that they might be slightly susceptible to, then wash your hands thoroughly before you come out and see them for the day. Dettol, this is a good one for like general cleaning of their cages. It's non-fragranced, kills most bacteria and certainly all the ones that you'd need for that, so that's a brilliant one. But also Dettol wipes are just as good. Now these are the treats. These treats are actually what they like. Their dream is they're actually cat treats, but they've got to be chicken ones or meat ones. Don't get many of the fish ones because that's not good for them, but they like these as extra treats, so I've got them some of them ready. Some certain amount of live food with their diets, so I've got these two. So if I'm going to give them mealworms or Morio worms, wax worms, these are the kind of things I'll be using. Not that thrilled about doing them by hand, so these are perfect. These ones are the apple and blackcurrant mix. These are from Pets at Home. So I actually got these on a 3 for 2 offer, so they were even better value. But these will go into their forage tray, which I'll let you know about in a further video. But these will enrich their environment, give them something to forage in. Well, I'll probably add some mealworms and things like that, and some balls so they can have a little play in there. But this is all enrichment for their environment. So I've done a lot of research. I've got some books and pieces, and I've got basic hedgehog first aid and things like that. I think it's good to read as much as you can, whether it be on about normal hedgehogs or pygmy hedgehogs, just so you can get kind of a basic knowledge of things that you might run into. I mean, I got this from, there's a Vale Wildlife Hospital which is really near to us, just up the road. So I got one of their care booklets. That tells you kind of loads of things that you might come across, things you might get. Obviously they're for wild hedgehogs, but they say a lot of the same anatomy and some of the same things will cross over. So anything you can learn has got to be a good thing. I've got fluffy tunnels, like little hides for them. Just, I wouldn't spend a lot of money on them because they'll probably get dirty, they'll probably get pooped on. These are just easy to clean. They're only from like eBay or Amazon or somewhere like that. Then they're just £3 or £4 each. But if they last 1 to 2 months, then it's good value for them. The most economical thing you can actually probably get for them is toilet rolls. Toilet rolls, I love to go in. You can hide things in them. The only thing you need to do is you literally need to cut along the back before you give them to them, so they can't get stuck or their spine stuck. So that's the most important thing you must remember, is to cut them along the length of them. Puppy pads. I mean, puppy pads aren't cheap actually. They can be quite pricey, but they are absorbent. So this will save you when you come to the cleaning regime. You can literally, if you don't want to clean the whole of your area out every day or every couple of days, then pop these in. You can literally just replace them in a few minutes, get rid of the old ones, and they'll probably save you in the long run. You can get fleece liners. You can put fleeces in. These are a bit too big, these ones we found, but you can get fleeces in because fleece obviously dries quickly, so it's something you can obviously put in the washing machine. So that would be another thing that you could use to line. And I know the pygmy hedgehogs love to get under them, play in them, and even go to sleep under them, so that's worth having. I've got the Aveeno card. Now the Aveeno card is dust free, environmentally friendly and recyclable, and being recycled in fact. So I've got a big bag of that to get started. I also got the Aveeno bedding, so that will go inside any nesting area. There's an actual built-in nest area under the ramp in our vivarium, so I'll put some of that in there and try and encourage them.
I'll pop the links below.
Yeah, we'll pop all links below from where we bought everything. It's mostly, I have to say, Amazon, eBay. Those probably the Pets at Home, obviously, for these ones. I've also got some freeze-dried mealworms. These aren't as good for them as fresh. Or live, I should say. I mean, they are freeze dried, so they have got a better quality than just the normal dried that you give to the birds, say in the winter. But they haven't got as much gelatin in them, which is what your pygmy hedgehog will need for its growth and development and things like that. So a certain amount of live in their diet is good. They do the majority of their meal is made up of actually cat kibble. I've got some in here. I've actually got 2 lots at the moment. So the cat kibble that you give them, you don't just give them like one type. You have to give them like 5 different types. When you get your pygmy hedgehog from your breeder, they'll probably send a small amount or enough for a few weeks for them to carry on with their same diet. Obviously, you might be able to buy from some breeders sell the actual food, so you can continue to buy. If not, it is possible to get prepared mixes either from Sue Hampton. She does them on the Pygmy Hedgehog Club, and I think there's also somebody on eBay that sells them. So it's just going to be a bit of trial and error about what suits your hedgehog. So if they come with a pack with them, keep them on that, and then if you decide you want to move into something else, then gradually introduce it over a few days, because they can get a bit of a funny tummy. So we'll go on to diet later. There's lots of different things you can add to their diet to make them happier, more enriched. So I'll do a future video on that.